Hi everyone, this is JD Vance. This is Lockdown Learning. We've got a very clever, handsome young man on today. We've got Scott. We've got Scott from Success Raw. Now that's an interesting company name. How did you come up with that, my friend?
Well, the first part is I wanted to get away from a marketing name because I felt it's people engage with marketing. It's a different persona. And I've always been fascinated with what success means to different people in different forms. And the raw part was actually just being able to share a message about how to get success or conversations with people that what's really is success. You know, the people, the accountants that are struggling each day and how they've got a little bit, and everyone's definition of what success is different. So it's kind of linking to that as a bigger thing maybe for the future around sharing that message out a little bit more. So,
nice. So if you could you give maybe a couple of minute overview of what it is that you do? And I think what will be really helpful for people watching is to who you normally serve as customers. So we get the right people understanding this is for you, or it could be for everybody. Some people have been speaking to solopreneurs, some people large corporates. So good to get an overview and who you're sort of serving, really.
Okay. And so it's adapted slightly and I think this is around adapting for the situation that we're in and what we are. Particularly at the moment, serving people that want to do marketing online and sell their products online, but they're a bit wary how to do that, haven't got all the tools in place, haven't got all the funnels in place and everything like that. So we actually had, before this crisis, we started working on a software platform to help people sell online. That has come more into the fore now.
Which bits?
So
all
really,
of it? Which bits?
Yeah, so pretty much there's like the introduction to it, which is going to start next week, is like a 61-day action plan, which shows them how to drive their audience to their funnel, if you like, probably. But then it takes care of the whole rest of it. So we literally, all they have to do is do the content, if you like, and drive people to a one-page link. And then the landing page, the gated page, and all the follow-up is all done automatically for them. So it's
Can I
really
just ask you, what's a funnel? What's a funnel?
So a funnel is taking, we know them the sales funnels and all them fancy talk, but basically it's how to take, we're just talking to people online, you're doing post content, but it's how do you take someone on that journey from a potential lead to a potential prospect to a client.
So kind of typical sales pipeline, but really a more online social media focused version.
Yeah, and very simplified. So there's a lot out of them at the moment, and I won't name any other brands that may be competitors in the future, but there's a lot about them, but they are very complicated to use. It's a bit like when Canva first come to the market. Canva got their Canva. So with Canva.com with the graphic design.
That's right, yeah.
Which everyone, a lot of people lose. It's so easy now to create stuff on there, looks really good for the non-technical people. Their positioning was actually, if you're really technical and a graphic designer, there's Adobe and there's other stuff like that. But for normal people that can't afford that, if you like, haven't got the technical ability to learn how to do that, then that was where Canva's sweet spot was, in terms of it was very simplified, easy to use, and a cost level for the small business owner. And that's kind of actually the inspiration a little bit of Success Raw, of where we're at the moment.
Right, brilliant. So we've all been on lockdown for about 3 weeks now. And from most people I've spoken to, typically everybody had a pipeline, then it disappeared. Then they've kind of gone and got another pipeline. So how have you been with your clients, or what response or reactions have your clients given you since we've gone complete lockdown?
So it's a massive change, really, because it's had repositioned slightly in terms of working specifically niching down with tech companies and tech startups, and as a market, and working more face to face rather than doing the agency stuff, because I built a couple of agencies and I prefer the face to face contact or getting more involved with these, because my background is actually doing business turnaround projects. It wasn't a marketing agency prospect, so I always felt that limited me in how I can get involved with a client anyway. And so in terms of a business, I'm like everyone else, that really has stalled, where a lot of them are relying on their enterprise clients and stuff like that, which we're all putting on hold in projects. But then and we talked about this about, pivoting and stuff like that. It's really about how the deliveries. And for me, when I stepped out of my corporate world into this small business world, if you like, and the crazy world that we all are in that world.
Try and survive it.
I didn't know, I didn't know much about running a business and all that. In terms of, because I did business turnaround projects and I owned them, and I worked with a lot of big companies and smaller businesses and doing quick turnarounds, I had an understanding of how business worked, but I had an understanding of how do we get sales, how do we set the systems in place, how do we move forward and make money. What the bit that when I come out is, it was in the height of a recession. Now, I didn't understand what that meant for small business owners and stuff like that. So I kind of repositioned at the time of just going into online marketing, because one, after managing like hundreds of staff and getting involved at senior levels and stuff like that, I didn't really want that. I wanted to be completely shut off.
Why was that? Why was that?
It just I got stressed, but the recession was hitting the company I was working with, and I won't mention them because it would be fair to mention them, but they handled it in a very managed by fear sort of way.
Okay.
And it was getting very stressful, and there was a comment of, we're going to start sacking people just to make a point, and that was almost my breakdown point when I go, I've had enough. So at that point, so I went into and started marketing online, because that was just coming out then, really. And I was very successful at that in the first 18 months. So when this sort of hit this crisis, and I realized where people were changing now, how they've got to market and sell stuff. For me, it was, actually, if I go back to what I was doing then that is perfect, and to show people how to do that and set the process up so people can do that easily, and rather than the process I went through to try and create it.
Yeah, so you kind of have that exposure to how large corporations put policy and templates all in place, and you could sort of take some of that and then help share that with clients of a size and the way you wanted to, which was kind of more face to face. Is that right? Yeah,
and it was more then I saw an open market there where, this is back in 2009. It was crazy. It don't seem that long ago in some respects, but a lifetime ago in others. But but a lot of people didn't have websites and stuff like that in days. Facebook was only a few years old. Was only a baby, and was just, I think it was at a stage where it was just full of ads at that point, and it was so, because marketers ruin everything, we know that. We do that, but it was a difficult world in terms of it had to be done through the online forums in them stage. But the audience was that Google was really starting to come to the fore, in terms of everything is Google world, if you like. And what I saw the opening at the time was, for all these small businesses like plumbers, electricians and stuff like that, is how they can easily get onto the front page of Google when people put in that third search, not the first search of plumber, because then everything comes up, not the second search of plumber in London, but the third search of where can I get a plumber in Great Dunmow, in emergency.
Sure.
That first search that people put in, which is between 6 and 20 words, it was understanding that and positioning them in that bracket, which are very low cost, and got them up to Google ranking pages right from the start. And what they got was local traffic rather than calls from Scotland. Because if you're a plumber down the road from me in Stansted, or Dunmow, you don't want someone calling you from Scotland going, I've got a burst water pipe.
No.
So it was just doing that at low cost, and I realised actually all them methods I used then is very much now to help people what people didn't know then is how to sell their stuff online. So then you face to face in the pub, give us a call, here's a card, blah blah blah, give me a call. They didn't know how to sell online with that different persona, and so all them skill sets are really now going, this is what people need at the moment. So so I pivoted slightly in sort of how best feel I can serve people now.
Great. So just going back to what you were saying about the recession, I used to work for a large consultancy in marketing in Asia, and one of the things I've seen as a difference between large corporates and the rest of us in recession time is that they actually double down on their marketing budget. And if you look back at the statistics, businesses that focused in on marketing in the tough times actually came out stronger, because they were giving free value, free content away, and people wanted that. So when they came to a time of purchase, they looked back and went, well, who added the most value for me in that time when I really needed it?
Yeah.
I'll go to Scott.
Yeah.
Have you found that, or what's your opinion of that?
Absolutely. Yes, and that is exactly it. It's more about people changing how you strategize at the moment, not stop your marketing, but to how you change how you're marketing. And if you look at a lot of the big companies now that people just go, if you said to people like, what's the biggest retail company now, you know, or what's one of the biggest companies in the world at the moment? And a lot of people go Amazon. And then you go, right, now look at the Amazon model, where they grew from and how they really took hold of the market during the last recession. Because pre that, they were a book online selling company.
Do you have an example of what they did, or a bit more story to that, or not?
Well, they just looked at, if you look at how they made everything available for everyone, you know. So
when you say available and everything, what do you mean?
Yeah. So like online. So if you look at how we shop online now.
Yeah.
If you had said, if we go back to 2009, so this is how people are going to shop online in 10 years time or 11 years time, you'd go, don't be stupid. There's no way I'm saving my credit card details on the
I remember that.
Yeah, there's no way, you know, you remember the first time you save your credit card, get off, no chance, you know.
My mum wouldn't want me to give you bank details.
Exactly. And, you know, and then, you know, and what they did is they changed how that online journey worked. So we got trust in it and credit. So, you know, when you first come across Amazon, it was like you bought something small and then you'd ask people, has anyone used Amazon before? And then a few people say, yeah, I've got, you know, it's okay. So you'd buy something small. The second time you use them, it's a bit like, I call it the Cheers. You know, with we used to watch Cheers, with Shannon age, obviously, but Norm. You know, when Norm come in and everyone was like, "Hi, Norm," and I call it the Norm scenario, where if you go back somewhere, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a retailer, whether it's buying stuff off of me, buying stuff of you, if you go back 4 times, then it becomes your place, your thing.
Right.
So that's a little bit how Amazon did. The first time you bought something small, it got delivered. It was exactly what it was. Them days it was 28-day delivery. Wouldn't get away with that now, would we? But it was something small. It turned up. It was exactly what you wanted. It was in good condition. You know, it was on time to when they said it was going to be. The next time you go on there, you go, okay, I can buy something now. When you come to that 4th time, then you're like, yes, absolutely, I'll save my details. Then they've adapted all the time. They've innovated the whole time. So like the 1-click purchase, you know, again, if they brought that out and, you know, right at the start of the online, we'd have gone, no way.
No. So they're listening to their customers and the data they're receiving to see how to bring their business forward, but they're forward thinking to start with. So they're putting it out there and then managing it as it goes. Yeah. Is there anything that we can learn?
It's adapting how you can deliver your service at the moment.
Yes.
And that thing will always adapt. So Simon Sinek talks a lot about it with Netflix and Blockbuster. You know, Blockbuster didn't innovate, didn't think about how in 3 years' time are their customers going to be engaging with video. You know,
it's a shame because their brand was the positioned correct brand to take it over.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them now that our kids are going to go, who the hell were they? You know, like Blockbuster, they go, who? And you know, it's like you go Woolworths, you know, and all these things where they just didn't innovate to where how people wanted to shop differently. And I think that's what you got to look at now from your marketing is going, okay, it's not about the demographics at the moment. It's about the psychographics. And
what's that mean?
So normally we go demographics, and most people go, you know, who's your client, and customer, and they go, well, everyone, and you give them a slap, and you go, it can't be everyone.
Yeah, right.
If we talk about age, location, you know, male or female, so gender, all them sort of things. Your psychographic at the moment is more about what are your clients consuming? What are their values driving them at the moment? Because people's values are coming out. We're seeing this a lot on Facebook at the moment. People really taking offense to people being negative and unfriending them, and other people just thriving off of that, you know. So what are people's values at the moment of your ideal client?
Cool.
And also, what is a journey? So it might still be they need your services, right? So if you take a plumber, for example, we still need plumbing services. It's just a bit of difference of how we can use a plumber service at the moment. So rather than where the hesitance is, I don't really want to ring around I don't really want to get a plumber around here and catch the virus and give him the virus, then he gives it to someone else and someone dies, because I don't want that on my conscience. But it might be a case of, do you know what? I probably could do that with a bit of guidance.
Right. So with like a space
the
suit on or something.
psychographic is, if I pay a plumber 30 quid and he talks me through it over the phone on what to do, actually, my psychographic for me is that's where I'd rather be at this stage rather than calling a plumber to come round.
Yeah.
So
this is kind of what we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of what lockdown learning's about. Is people are like, well, look, I'm a massage. I do massage. How I can't do massage online? I was like, well, what you could do is you could set up lessons, and a mum and dad can massage themselves, and you can do that live. You could even charge for that on a subscription basis or hourly basis, and you could teach it. So I hadn't thought about plumber, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do. I spoke to a business guy yesterday who has a chiropractor, and like the chiropractor actually showed him. He said he wasn't personally very good at it, but he at least got to learn a little bit about what he should do without the person there. And we all got to learn that, haven't we now?
Yeah, there's a company called RD Visio, doing online visio stuff, and it's part of my accelerator program, Rush. And the way they're doing their stuff online now is brilliant, and it can be done. It's just thinking about what does my client, how do they want to consume that now? Can I still deliver it? And you've got to remember, this world is different than where we were 10 years ago. I mean, Zoom has been brilliant, and you've got Skype, and you've got all these other video things that you can really have these engaging conversations with now, not just on a telephone. We can upload videos to YouTube for free. So even if you want to go, so like that plumber can go, right, I'll give you a call. Here's a series of YouTube. Here's a series of videos I'll send you over. But and if you get stuck at any point, give me a call at this point. That for me is still a chargeable service. And a bit like the one I see at the moment is personal trainers. I think are the ones getting it wrong.
Getting it wrong.
Get it wrong, yeah. Because
okay, go on. That's interesting.
Because we need. I don't know about you, but after a day like this, I'm like itching to get out for a walk. I'm not being able to play golf at the moment and stuff like that. Not being able to see Stu hit all them trees on the golf course that he normally does. But
oh, I've got some personal videos you sent me. We'll get them up one day.
Oh, definitely.
How not to play golf by Stu.
Yeah, but if you want to know how to hit trees that day, we won't go there. Poor Stu.
He's gonna love that.
He's a lot better golfer than me as well, so it's a bit ironic. But the thing is this. So at the moment, what's valuable to me is so not that I'm a gym owner, but if you think of the people that go to gyms, and it's a massive industry, right? And gyms were very quick off the mark, and credit to them, said we're going to freeze memberships. We're going to stop memberships. We're going to close gyms, and they're one of the first businesses to sort of close the doors, if you like. But what you've got is now is the personal trainers that we all know and we're connected to, that we get access to. We know them personally, rather than just a gym name that doesn't really mean anything to us. Just the convenience of going to your nearest gym is more of a convenience than a thing. So the personal trainers now online that we know and love and know them, a bit better. They've finally got the leverage where the gyms are closed. People are not spending their gym membership, yet they're all going, right, do 30 days free, do 60 days free. When actually, if I join, and I've joined a couple of groups where they're free stuff, and I've hardly dipped into them because my mentality is I'm not paying for it. If I'll get a chance, but
yeah.
We will do that, I'm going to lose weight next week. I'm going to, and that turns into, January, definitely. I'm going to, January, get to August. Next January, definitely, and that cycle, we just had Easter, I'll wait till the summer, but so we go through that cycle. But now we've got, if I go, well, actually, that's really important to me because I understand it in my scenario now. I understand when my kids at home, we're all at home. So rather than spending, and again, positioning, rather than spending 60 quid, 80 quid or 150 quid away for a family membership gym, where you can't go, you haven't got a choice, it's been closed and your membership's in freeze. Now you go, well, actually, they've got the opportunity of leveraging and going, they can give a bit of free value and a bit of free content, but then go, here's an online subscription, and even if it's a private group where they do a Facebook Live every day, again, it doesn't cost them anything to deliver that.
Yeah. And so what you're saying is the gyms are places where people exercise, but PTs have already the personal relationship, so they're probably benefiting more. Yeah. And maybe the gyms could be looking at providing a person to go on camera and do that, and to keep subscriptions going.
Yeah. And we know that as soon as we go into pre-lockdown, when everything's back, well, the new normal, it won't be the old normal, it'll be a new normal. But when we go back to that, we know what the gym's going to be like. There's going to be very heavy, hard sales, free membership, free money. It's going to be all what they do every January, but a lot more. And Facebook ads are going to just be full of gyms with offers, by the way. So don't put that in your search thing or tell Alexa you want to do exercise at the moment. All your ads on your screen which have covered it. So they're going to be like that. So then the personal trainers are going to miss out because people are going to go, well, okay, I can go there now and pay to get back into that. Whereas actually what we know at the moment, realistically, we've got at least 60 days of this. We've already had, 3 weeks now. We've probably realistically got another 60 days of this. Best case scenario, 30 days. Best case scenario. We haven't hit the peak yet.
Can't see it. 45 to 60 for real.
Yeah. So then you've got enough time to build in a new behavioural habit of people. But the only way they're going to commit to that on a daily basis and set that in is if they're paying, even if they're paying a little bit for it, like a £5, a £1, as long as they're paying something for it, there's more of a mindset of, I need to go and get my money's worth at this stage from that. But then the mindset is, well, I'm still saving money on the gym because I'm not paying that out on the gym. Then when we've been doing it for 60 days, 90 days, whatever it turns out to be, then it's going to be of actually, why am I traveling to the gym? I can use Stevie at home. I can use JT, which is a much, and someone actually I can talk to, and I actually see what's going on in their personal life, And so they've got this massive opportunity, and they're just devaluing it. Whereas when they go back to what them is, they're not going to be able to charge people this. So they're going to find very different people in it.
I do agree. Not that I know much about it, but I agree with you in the sense of when I went to the park yesterday, I actually made a little video. Just videoing everybody, and it was like how I'd really would like the world to be in normal times, where there wasn't this angst that people drive around in, Chimp Paradox kind of in the car. People were quite social, they were exercising, and actually the physical world and those businesses is going to change. Who wins out the PTs and who wins out the gyms, I don't know, but people now know they enjoy exercise, and if we're down on lockdown for long enough, people are going to be self-trained. They probably don't need to go to the gym if they don't want, but there is the social side of going to the gym, and some people like to.
Yeah. And you'll always get that, and people will, there'll be people that are just missing it mad, It's like, and they want to get out, and it's their escapism as well, it's their own time, and that will probably heighten them experience being in lockdown for 90 days.
Yeah.
But what I'm just saying is it's a great opportunity for the personal trainers to think about what's the psychographics of my client at the moment. Do they want to commit? What's going to stop them committing, as we always do with fitness? And by giving away free, and everyone trying to give away free and all that, is not the right psychographic. You should be doing a little bit maybe of what I call free micro content. Here's a description because, and then your psychographics, look, you're still saving a lot of money on the gym, you're not traveling, and you're going to get the much more personal experience that you can't get. That's only one time in history that we've had at the moment since there were other gyms that they've had that leverage.
Right. Yeah. I've got a friend, Adam and Andy, who own a collection of gymnasiums, very professional, Reading, Swindon, everything, doing very, very well, obviously invested lots of money. And I'm sure that organisations with that amount have, assets and stuff, so it's okay, it's a business. But one thing I did see, I've got another friend who owns a HIIT gym, and he went to go and buy a load of gymmy mats, everything, and they were actually already sold out. Like, I wanted to get a hot tub for the garden. The hot tub that I was going to buy was $450, is now $1,000. But what they did, because they're clever lads and they were thinking outside the box, they've obviously got suppliers of equipment. So they quickly turned their website into a online shop front with all their sports equipment and all the mats and everything. And I'm sure they're doing very well with that.
And this is the thing, and if we spend a bit like the Amazon thing, as we spend money with people, we're building a more connection with them.
Yeah.
So
depending on who we're always speaking to on size-wise, there's a lot of people out there that have got skills, maybe smaller, running their own business like PT and everything, that they're very good at what they do, but they really struggle, as I do I've got an online clothes company, I just struggle with getting the what do I focus on? There's so many different platforms, and I know everybody says there's 2.5 billion people on Facebook is the way forward. even that presents its own challenge. So as a small business, if you were running a PT or whatever, where would your focus be and why?
So my focus would be, and I think it's PT a lot of businesses, but really, so once you've looked at right, who's my ideal client now from and understand that psychograph a little bit, where are they hanging out more at the moment? You know, we've all seen a big uprise in use of social media across the board, you know, so it might be with one PT, they are on probably Facebook at the moment. You know, I think Instagram's got its own extra potential. The difference with Instagram at the moment, unless you're spending on ads, it's more difficult to drive people to a link, if you like. You've got to get people back to your profile, you know, and we've seen it, and even TikTok's just a bit of fun. To drive people to a link and is incredibly difficult. So Facebook's probably the place to go, I would say, in terms of that sense at the moment. But you kind of pick what is it LinkedIn, is it thing, and then you, as you say, double down on that platform. I'm going to own this platform, right? There. And and then you look at I call it a thing called free micro content. So one of the sort of free hacks to teach people is free micro content. So where we are as well at the moment is info overload, right? And we're a little bit of when, and hopefully not many people experience this, but when you've got someone around you that's in depression, for example, that's had a case of depression, been depressed, there's too many people trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And if you're, you know, for depression, it's like, oh, you know, and I know it's a bit of a heavy overlap, but right. the people that you're telling people what to do all the time, you know, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and natural things we kind of go on that. And even as small business owners or commercial people, you know, that businesses that are at home now and stuff like that. Again, ego-driven, don't like being told what to do. You know, it's pretty much why most small business owners are unemployable, because they don't like. Yeah.
Rebels without a reason.
Which is why a lot of business partnerships, you know, go south quickly because of two big egos, you know. But anyway, different conversation.
I find that with Stu and Si. Oh.
Yeah, and it's because you know we have got an ego in that. So I'll go like there's so much info overload at the moment that where people can really stand out is going. So it's like people sort of said, and we had this pre-email thing about people stop doing their marketing. And no, they absolutely shouldn't. You're absolutely right. They should double down on it because they've got the time to do it now. But what they should do is think about what's my strategy, what's my tactic now, rather than was before. And so if you're using, you know, like Facebook, Instagram, there's so much information out there, so much, you know, overload. It's actually what I call free micro content. So you do really short micro content, and whether that's a post, whether it's a short video, you know, so all your videos should be under 4 minutes or something like that, you know, and even just text stuff and just all short stuff. So
how long should a video be? How long should a video be? Because I know a minute on Instagram, you have to do IGTV with it. So a minute for Insta, but Facebook
under 3 minutes. I think under 3 minutes. The
Why
first
is
thing,
that?
well, because one of the things we do, the stats show us that people switch off after that a little bit. But if it depends where it's in the journey. So the journey should be trying to get someone to go. So for instance, if I was trying to get someone to go and watch this interview afterwards, just putting it up on my feed going, here's a 30-minute video in its thing. People are going to have 30 minutes or 40 minutes, no charge, you know. But if you go, actually, here's a short intro to it, and that can be text or even a picture or a very short video going, look, here's the video. If you want, this is what I talked about. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's this long, go and watch it. Because then because the first thing we do, and you try and catch yourself doing this next time go onto YouTube, right? And you come across a video that you just land on for whatever reason. And so someone says, oh, here's a good video, watch this. The first thing you do is look at how long that video is for, right? And you might go, 30 minutes, cool, I ain't doing 30 minutes. But then you'll end up watching 18 different 10-minute videos on the balance. But actually you learn nothing. So there's a real thing. So I think for Facebook, for example, is you need to get it under that sort of really 4 minutes. And if you can keep it as short as possible as an intro to, there's a bigger video. So you have one big video, if you like, that's 30 minutes, an hour long, like a webinar type thing, but all your short video content just leads to that. So it's all connected. And then, so everything you can go to, see your call to action can always be, look, if you want to watch a more in-depth video about it, go to successraw.co.uk. You
So
can
a bit of a teaser to bring them into the big bit.
Yeah, just you need to bind. You need to get someone to bind to. Like, you should value someone's 30 minutes of time, an hour time, or whatever. You shouldn't be able to just put on a video like, I want everyone to watch this. It's almost like, I value it, so I'm going to give you a little intro of what it's going to be. It's different if you sent me a video now, because we've had this connection. If you sent me a link and said, Scott, I think this is a really good video you should watch, and it's an hour and a half long, right? The chance are, because of our connection now, I will watch it, but I'll schedule in, and I might watch it in 3 or 4 different parts, but I'll watch it because of our connection.
Yeah.
You don't get that in an online thing, because it's slightly different, even with people you're connected to on thing, that unless you put a really strong thing going, look, this is a must watch, it's an hour long, but and even if you shouldn't do it as a post, you should do that really as a kind of then as a person invited people. So I would keep it under sort of 4 minutes, and the shorter you keep it, and then what it makes you do, it makes you give just the big message rather than all the detail.
So thanks for that. How many times should we be posting? I'll take, just before that, Gary Vaynerchuk says like 400 times a day. I try and post one thing a day for each company or person I have. What's your thoughts on it as a business?
Yeah, so you are. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gary, but there's a bit of overdrive and stuff like that. People soon get bored of your content and your notifications, and also we see it when when we go to our notifications on Facebook and the same person's posted, and commented, and it just kind of, you're going to lose people quickly. So it's a bit like email list. If you're happy to burn your list quickly, and you want to email them every day, you can do it. But you're going to put that an email list of 10,000 is going to be burned very quickly, which is why all these top gurus continuously building their list, because they're burning people, because we get 82 emails from them in 3 days, trying to sell. So it's the same, for me, it's the same ethos. And bear in mind, we're more in a personal connection now. Everyone's got to feel themselves that we are a personal brand. It's a level playing field at the moment. So really great opportunity to be a personal brand, because the same as, everyone at the moment we're all in together. So all the gurus are in the same position as us at the moment. So level playing field. So you've got that more personal connection. So if you don't want to be seeing someone posting 20 times a day, I would say don't do it yourself. Again, it's understandable.
Good rule.
The one thing that I do a lot is, and sometimes I go posting people, I won't actually post at all that much during a week. I'll post probably once, and I tend to pay to people, like even on the 61-day action plan is about posting once at the start of the week and actually sharing that post during the week in different places.
That's a great idea. So that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You can take one post.
Your content creation is not on you then.
Yeah. Like Gary V's like, you got one video, you can separate some of the edit, you can put some on LinkedIn, you can put a different thing on it. And it's about he's so good at taking one piece of content and making it into 20 pieces of content. And they're brilliant at that. And I think we need to learn to recognize it, because I get a bit like, I posted on that, I don't want to post again, but where am I posting it? Which platforms am I posting it? What's the response from each of them? So I think that's great advice, Scott.
And it's the tactic. So you have one piece of content on the Monday, and I say during that 61-day action plan, it's around, you pick out 5 groups at the start where your ideal clients are, and you post. So you post that on your page on the first day. Second day, Tuesday, you share it to group 1. Next day, group 2, and stuff like that. Where the big one that you should be doing, and where we've got the time to do it a little bit more now, and bear in mind, a lot more people are posting on things. And I put a post out a couple of weeks ago that was really popular at the start of the lockdown, was the don't post and ghost. So you don't and then come off of social media, and then come on and go, I do great on social media, I only spend 5 minutes a day. I'm going, yeah, you're talking rubbish, because people know that because you don't reply to any comments.
Yeah.
If you think about you've got to really value people's time in this thing, whatever it is. If you like one of my posts or make a comment, I'm going, well, make a comment is another level of commitment up than just making a like, if you like. So I should appreciate that.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? I do that. Like when people write me happy birthday, for example, I wrote personally to everybody that I could. and I do that. Do you think by having a conversation in Facebook, it makes it travel further? Because Facebook have locked it down to about 5% of your friends, which people don't know. You post, but if you start sharing, chatting, it does make it explode more. So that's got to be the way forward, isn't it?
I gave an example yesterday. I was asked to do a 15-minute presentation on a virtual networking one, and on Tuesday actually, and I gave an example of that the biggest thing to do on social media. So you got your one bit of content that you can share out during the week, not all in one go, because then you've got to create loads of content. But what you should be doing every day is what I call is commenting. So free value, micro value on comments. So when you're commenting on people, so you're engaging, particularly the groups that you've identified where your ideal clients are hanging out, spend time on them and your feed as well. And actually spend some time, what I call reading it, actually engaging with it and commenting on it. Because someone might put, so the example I gave, and a lot of my prospects, and I sort of talk about is about, you've got leads are just where people hang out. You've got to think about how do you take them into a prospect where they're putting their hand up going, oh, that's interesting what you said. And then the journey into a client. But most of my prospects that book the tools like Calendly Link now, which are free to use, fantastic. So where the example I gave yesterday was just where a lot of my leads, so someone might comment on a group, I need a new website. Where do I go with a website? Can anyone recommend? You guarantee that post is going to get a lot of traction and it's going to get a lot of people going, yeah, I can help you. I can do a website. Here's my website. Oh, we should have a chat. I'll DM you. It's everyone trying to sell because they're going, oh, he's asked for what I'm selling. Right? What I'd say is if you're a website designer at this stage, be that person that goes, well, actually, that's an interesting thing. Yes, they're asking for exactly what I do, but how can I give value in my comment now rather than just sell to them?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we're not at that stage yet where, and then what you do is if you put that bit of value in there going, and it might be just simple as like, there's a lot of things you've got to consider if it's e-commerce, if it's fun, there's a massive price band. It all depends on what you're selling and how you're selling it and how you want to sell it and what platforms you're going to use. So just value like that and then say, look, if you want to chat, here's my Calendly link. Right?
Yeah.
You put that on it on your website. I would say when I do that a lot, 8 out of 10 times, and it might be even more than that, it might be 9 out of 10 actually if I looked at it properly, but it's definitely 8 out of times. The people that book the call to have a call and just have a general chat are not the people that put the post on.
That's interesting.
So rather than getting one potential lead from the one that posts, I'm getting 3 or 4 potential leads from the comment that I made because other people are seeing it.
Oh, that's clever. Is there a name for that?
I just call it, I call it free micro content through comments. I give value through commenting. And then what it makes you do, and I've been doing that strategy a long time and then only really realised in this era it's actually really valuable fee. And then realised that nearly all my leads, if you like, prospects from social media come from doing it that way. So I get a lot of people that go to me, oh, I'm seeing you on Facebook a lot. I'm on it every day. It's just that I'm in the groups commenting rather than...
Right. So what we're saying is social media is social and we make a post and we get probably close friends, associates maybe that see that. But to really gain new followers and decent relationships, we need to find other people in the same sector as us, go and listen to their chats, make comments about what they're saying, and then try and engage with others in the same sort of sector and build proper relationships so they do want to come over to your side and see what you're doing yourself because you've added value to them already.
Yeah, and that's where your overall strategy should be. Your overall strategy, man, we talked about right at the top, it should be about educating rather than selling at this stage. So if you think that you're educating, and the best way and the simplest way, so that people, and my stuff, hopefully it's come across, is all about how to simplify the process and not overcomplicate it. But what you should be looking at is at the moment, when you're looking at who your clients are at the moment, is what 3 questions are they asking? Okay, what are they asking for at the moment? And even if you take me at the moment, if you like, is what is how it's a little bit how do I do marketing? Should I stop doing marketing or carry on doing marketing? What type of marketing do I do? How do I sell my stuff online now?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm putting out, even in this conversation and other content again, really in line with them 3 questions, because I know that my ideal audience now are asking them 3 questions. And then what it does is by looking to where you can comment and knowing that I'm looking at now, rather than looking actually what are the pain points and all that, it's like all that sort of rubbish, if you like, that we kind of we bore people with to make ourselves look clever as marketers over the years. Is now more about just
not me personally, but
no, the company not included. But we all know 10 or 20. But the
10x.
Yeah. So it's more about then understanding, go, right, actually, what are they asking for? Because if I'm thinking that straight away, right, what are they asking for? And I'm giving value in that sense rather than trying to go, right, what can I sell them? And then doing it through the comments, what it actually means is the majority of my time on social media is actually listening to other people talking rather than talking.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
and that's where you're going to win it. So that's where you're going to win at this stage, and through this, and build your personal brand just by being the guy that takes. Because when we see, as soon as we get a notification, right, we might get a notification, go, right, JD's posted on this group, blah blah blah, whatever, right? And you're doing, all right, you might look at me and go, you know, if you've got time, and you can look at them. I tend to look at, I'm a bit anal, I look at a lot of the notifications because I'm in that mindset of I want to see what people are talking about. And just listen. When you just listen to people, you get a lot of information about what they're asking for, rather than just trying to sell them something you've got. But where, if you see a notification on there, and it might be way down the list, and it might be JD's commented on your post, which one you're going to go to first? You're going to go to that one where it goes, JD mentioned you in it or tagged you in. You're going to go to them first. So straight away, all these people that don't know me, I'm commenting, they're going, oh, okay, I'm going on that. It's a nice comment because it's of value rather than sales. Right? They're then like, okay, who's this Scott guy? So they go back to your profile. So you've got to make sure you know that what you put on your Facebook maybe is not, you know, you see a lot of people, you go to people's profile on Facebook particularly, they don't use that bit of wording opportunity they got. So I would say be really clear in like kind of 20 words what it is that you do in terms of what people are asking for. So for me, I think my Facebook at the moment, I can't remember offhand, but it will say something like helping people marketing online and sell stuff online. You know?
Mine's got 5 words: more love by more Lord. Our clothes company's called More Lord, so more love by more Lord.
There you go. But so you can get your value in everything content, but people will go back to go, who's this Scott geezer? You know, they'll look at it, they'll go, oh, okay. And you're just kind of building that little bit of personal branding all of a sudden, that they don't know you, but they're checking you out because of you giving value on it. And that's really important, I think, at the moment, more so than posting stuff and whatever like that.
Yeah.
Because people will go to that notification first before any other notification.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So for me, the massive value at the moment is, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I don't get 1,000 likes or something on there. If you get 3 comments, I take, oh, shit, I only got 3 comments. No, I've got 3 comments. Wow, I'm going to go and reply to them people. I'm going to go and, you know, add friends, you know, like request a friend with them so you can then start seeing their personal life a bit. You know, that's where we're opening up a lot more of a personal element in a really non-sales way of thinking. And that's how we're building your personal brand. So by doing that in this period, what will come out of it in an industry where, if you like, my industry, really difficult to become a thought leader in that space. Generally, because of how the gurus and all the people, you know, and you know, people fall for that, a lot of that crap and stuff. But we're out of space. But now you've got a level playing field going, well, actually, he's the one that gave me, we talked about this right at the start, he's the one that gave me value. You know, it's going to go, you know, it's him. And there was a good example with a travel agent, you know, when it's all kicking off and all the borders were closing. Yeah. And the travel agency industry, you know, unfortunately, it's been a real hard time for them, you know. And but there was one guy, you know, in my network, a guy called Ian, was really good, and he was updating people when the borders were closing and stuff like that. Now, it wasn't great news, right? It wasn't great news, but in terms of people that had flights booked and wanted to get information and were struggling to get information from the travel agents and stuff like that and the airlines because they're just overwhelmed with stuff, he was putting out very valuable things because he was answering people's questions.
Yeah, so brilliant. Love that.
People get up in the morning going, oh, dear, is Spain borders closed? You know, and they say that, unfortunately, and so it wasn't great news, but it was the right news. Now, what that will send message to people when all this is over is, do you know what? I know loads of travel agents. He was on the ball. he was on the ball when all that was kicking off.
Yeah, adding value.
Yeah, you know, and then if things do go, you know, unfortunately, with scenarios like this, when people like got their flights cancelled, every time you book a flight for the next 4 years, you're going to be going, you know, what if that happens again? You know, so you want someone who you know is going to be finger on the pulse.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
He didn't realise it, but what he was doing was fantastic in personal branding at this stage and becoming a guru within that in that field.
That's fantastic. That's brilliant. So, to everybody's listening right now, so we, Scott and I are we're live on the listening to what you're typing, if you want to, below in the Facebook comments. Scott and I are actually here, so we can actually respond to any questions you might have. One thing that's come through today, Scott, is I almost feel teased by you that which you would normally do on the first thing, because you've given us an overview. I think I'd like to get you back on the show next week. And guys, if you've got a business where some of the stuff that Scott's mentioned touched you and you'd like maybe us to look at your business and maybe go through that, you've got some content, then just pop something in the comment box below. We will have a look at it and then maybe get in touch, and maybe we'll do some more sort of live, going through some situations a bit more specific, and do something like that. Would you come back on the show and do that for us, Scott?
No, absolutely. Yeah, the more we can help people with that. If they've got specific questions, the more specific, the better. Yeah, we can make it.
So people, you've got two moments now. You can either put your comment in now, or you can get hold of Scott, or you can get hold of JD, and we'll put our details below, and you can contact either of us, and we'll be able to give you an update as to what the next show is going to be about, what people have said they'd like in the show, because really these shows only count if you guys help us put the content out you want to watch. So the more specific you are about what you would like, the easier it's going to be for us for Scott to present you with the correct information. But Scott, I just want to say it's been great to have you on. You obviously know what you're talking about, and you're very personable. So thank you very much for coming on the show. One thing that we get everybody to do, which I'll show you first, is we go lockdown. All right. So I just want you to put your hands straight in the air.
Right.
Straight like that, and then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. Lockdown.
Lockdown.
You're a hero.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
and we're going to catch you on the flip side. That's fantastic. Everybody else, have a great day. Cheers. Bye.